Okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Here we go, D. Here I come.
They'll run on first down. Rich, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
It's now second and 6 at the 32-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6.
Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
Now a give right side. Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Darnold from the gun. He's got his man on the comebacker. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
On first down, Rich. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
All right. Let's go, D. Let's go. Let's get this.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Here's Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
gains his first carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Hines. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll try to throw now. Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. First down, Brissett. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Darnold. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Kill. Anyway.
They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice gain of 21 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Brissett. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone, and they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist. 80 weapon.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, Wakefield. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw, Darnold. And an alley to run. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll give him a new set of downs.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Here's Darnold. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. From 4 yards out. And the Jets will extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Darnold now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I'm coming. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Check, check, check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Going for the right side here. Complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jets will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that could alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Three down. Out.
From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something that feels somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. A final shot before the break. Darnold going deep now for Herndon. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Brissett. That's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett looking for Campbell downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Brissett. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They run with Hines. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. What we got? What we got?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. And he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron there to make the grab. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, switch! Check!
Now Darnold. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Brings up 3rd down.
Mike, 58, right there. It's our field.
Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Red 80.
Now a give right side. Rich. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Real side. 53, check 53. I want that. Give me that.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Darnold now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
2nd and 10. Flushed. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Get that quarterback, D-line.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
First down, Indianapolis.
Watch out. Tight end right.
A first down throw for Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a run with Mack. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 60 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. That halftime lead dwindling.
I love the way you just said that. Perfectly encapsulates what we're seeing right here. Strike after strike, making the big comeback, and right now they are putting the pressure on them in a huge way.
2nd touchdown of the half, and that one was a big one.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Rich. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Rich. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
53, Mike. Hey, we have a lady. Check. 53's Mike. Check.
Darnold from the gun. He's got Herndon, his tight end. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They begin the drive with Hines. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They run again with Hines. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Brissett. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brissett, catch made here by Campbell. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Brissett now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a carry from Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Colts have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right back to him on first down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On second down, it's Carson, and he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
It's first and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. They'll run here with Mack. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Check 24. Check.
Here's Hines. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The fullback, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Play action. It's Darnold. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. To throw is Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on, just 8 teams left.
Super Bowl, that's the ultimate, but you have to get there in incremental steps.